Roku shares have fallen sharply, revenue and guidance have been disappointing. Roku shares fell as much as 12% in extended trading on Thursday after the video streaming company issued fourth quarter revenue and first quarter revenue guidance that came in below consensus. Here's how the company did. Earnings, 17 cents per share, adjusted, versus 9 cents per share as expected by analysts, according to Refinitiv. Revenue, $865.3 million versus $894.0 million as expected by analysts, according to Refinitiv. Revenue grew by 33% year-over-year in the quarter, according to a letter to shareholders, compared with 51% growth in the third quarter and 81% in the second quarter. Management attributed the slowdown to supply shortages that hurt the U.S. market for televisions. Similar to Q3, overall U.S. TV unit sales in Q4 fell below pre-COVID 2019 levels. Anthony Wood, Roku's founder and CEO, and Steve Loudon, its finance chief, wrote in the letter, "Some of our Roku TV OEM partners were hit particularly hard with inventory challenges, which negatively impacted their unit sales figures and market share in Q4. With respect to guidance, Roku called for $720 million in first quarter revenue, which implies 25% revenue growth. The Refinitiv revenue consensus was $748.5 million. Roku said it sees $55 million in adjusted earnings before interest, taxes, depreciation and amortization, or EBITDA, in the first quarter, below the $79.2 million consensus among analysts polled by FactSet. Based on its share price after hours, Roku was trading at its lowest point since June 2020. During Thursday's trading session, in which the S&P 500 index fell 2%, Roku's stock had gone down 10%. Setting aside the after-hours move, Roku stock has fallen about 37% since the start of 2022, while the SP was down about 8% over the same period. Roku reported 60.1 million active accounts in the fourth quarter. That figure was up 17% year-over-year and more than the 59.5 million that analysts polled by StreetAccount have been looking for. In the fourth quarter, the company's platform segment, which includes digital advertising subscription and revenue sharing, and sales of branded buttons on remote controls, generated $703.6 million in revenue, up 49% and lower than the StreetAccount consensus of $732.2 million. The segment's gross margin came in at 60.5%, narrowing from 65% in the third quarter. Player revenue from sales of streaming players and audio devices totaled $161.7 million, declining 9% as analysts surveyed by StreetAccount had expected $160.5 million. In the quarter, Roku said it had completed an agreement with Google to keep YouTube and YouTube on its service. Executives will discuss the results with analysts on a conference call starting at 5 p.m. ET. CNBC's AI Levy contributed to this report. This is breaking news. Please check back for updates. Watch. There are buying opportunities for FIV around Roku, says Oppenheimer's Jason Helfstein.